updates and any news we get from them. Moving now, and diplomatic tensions are escalating between Ukraine and Hungary after Ukraine's security service, the SBU, claimed it had uncovered a Hungarian-run spy network operating on its territory. The agency said 2 former Ukrainian military personnel were detained for allegedly passing sensitive defensive information to Hungarian intelligence, marking what Ukraine called the first discovery of such a network. In response, Hungary expelled 2 Ukrainian diplomats from Budapest, calling the accusations propaganda, and politically driven Ukraine has now retaliated, ordering 2 Hungarian diplomats to leave within 48 hours. Foreign Minister Andriy Sybiha said the move is based on reciprocity and national interest. Staying in Europe, Switzerland and the United States have agreed to speed up talks on striking a deal on Washington's tariffs, according to the Swiss president, following a meeting with top US officials on Friday. Swiss President Karin Keller-Sutter has stated that they would like to accelerate the talks so that the US and Switzerland can find a solution very quickly, as they are important commercial partners. This came after talks in Geneva with US Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent and Trade Representative Jamieson Greer. Meanwhile, Chinese Vice Premier He Lifeng met with Swiss President Karin Keller-Sutter ahead of weekend talks with the US Treasury Secretary on trade. Trade talks with India have also been in the works. India has offered to slash its tariff gap with the US to less than 4% from nearly 13% where it currently sits, in exchange for an exemption from President Donald Trump's current and potential tariff hikes. This, according to reports, it comes after Trump announced on Thursday his administration's first breakthrough deal with Britain. It lowers average British tariffs on US goods, but keeps in place the 10% base tariff imposed by Washington on British goods. Moving on, but staying in the continent, the European Union has committed to providing €1 billion to support Ukraine's defence industry in its fight against Russia. The funding will come from the frozen Russian assets, specifically interest payments on approximately $300 billion of Russian central bank funds that were frozen by the West after Russia's invasion of Ukraine in February of 2022. The announcement was made by EU Foreign Policy Chief Kaja Kallas during a visit to Lviv on May the 9th. Let's listen in to what she said.
Is 1 billion that we are giving to Ukrainian defense industry, because this is where the innovation is made and where we can help Ukraine the most. And then a very, very important signal, also the tribunal, establishing the tribunal for the crimes of aggression. That means that nobody can be left unpunished for the crimes committed.
Well, this new funding will directly support Ukrainian arms companies and provide additional military aid over the coming months. The move comes as the EU seeks to increase its support for Ukraine amidst fluctuating US political support under President Donald Trump, who has been critical of US aid to Ukraine. The diplomatic visit in Lviv also included paying tribute to fallen Ukrainian soldiers at the Field of Honorary Graves in Lychakiv Cemetery. This ceremony coincided with Russia's Victory Day parade in Moscow, a symbolic event where the Kremlin showcases its military power. Meanwhile, European leaders will meet in Ukraine on Saturday. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky said preparations are underway for a meeting with the coalition of the willing without revealing attendees. Let's listen in to what he said.
We are also getting ready in Ukraine for a meeting with the leaders of the coalition of the willing. Serious work ahead, and we need this coalition, and we need it to be strong enough to guarantee security the way we all agree on. And I'm sure Europe will only benefit from this kind of our teamwork, and it will help strengthen the whole security.
That is all we have time for, but we'll continue to bring you more of the latest breaking news from across the world very